Right. Let's see how to write Python functions because we have already discussed about the data types and then the operations, while loops, for loops, if conditions. We have discussed about those now. Right. Then we'll start with the functions and how to write custom methods or custom functions. And thereafter, if you have time, we'll go into classes and objects and then double OP concepts. And then we're going to talk about the modules and so on. Right. Okay. Right. Then let's talk about the functions. Right. Now, function, you know what is a method or what is a function? You know, function is a block of codes or set of codes uh, will get executed when it is called. Right now, functions will that function contains some set of codes and will get executed when it is called. And inside a function, you may have values. In order to call the function, you may pass values, right? Likewise, then function may return anything or may not return anything. Likewise, there are differences as well. Right now, let's see how to declare a function in Python. Like in order to declare a function, you need to use the keyword define or def. Define, and let's say hello. That's my function name. Say hello. Since it is a function, I'm going to use round brackets and I want to define the method body or the function body. And then I'm going to display print. Hello. Hello from unknown. Now this is how I declare. You can have many lines, not only one line. Then the indentation matters. End of the function. And this is how you declare a function, and this is how you call the function. Now you can call the function. Function name is say hello. Right, you can call the function. Now it displays hello from unknown, end of the function. Because when I call this, then only this get executed. Inside this, what are the values inside this will get executed when I call this. Right. Now, if you want, like now, this is what you call you are invoking the method. When you are invoking a method, that means when you are calling the method name, if you want, you can pass some method data as well, some data. Now, the values you are passing is called as the argument. And the values you declare here, variables you declare here, we call as the parameters. Okay, try this one, then we'll come up with a function with the parameter. Right. Then if you want to pass a value as well, let's say hi. And if you have a variable called name, You can have hello from. Now you can pass the value. Now this is a parameter you declared here. Now at the time you invoke, you pass the value separated by. Now if you have many variables declared here, then these has to be separated by the comma. Now you say hello from the name of the variable value we are here is John. Hello from John. That's how you can pass the values to function as well. Here you can have multiple variables declared as parameters, and here if you have defined multiple parameters, then you need to pass the multiple values as the arguments. By any chance, if you forget to pass the values, then you will get an error saying, say hi, missing one required positional argument, because there's a positional argument name that is missing. That's why here it gives an error. Okay, try this one as well. And declare a function which has three parameters: age, name, age, address. Pass to the method print info. Declare method called print info and pass name, age, address, and then display those values. Right. Okay, quickly do it and send me the answer back code. Okay. Let's say we have method call until you complete it. Let's say we have method call add get total, define get total, and then let's say we have x and y and operator. Okay, let's say calculate. Okay, now for the time being, I'm gonna have get total. Then I'm gonna say print total is x plus y. Then you will get 30 as the answer. Right. Right. And also, when you have, let's say, now you know if you have declared now here two parameters, that if you want to invoke this, you need to pass two values. Like now, if you pass three values, what will happen? Now again, it will say get total method takes two positional arguments, but three arguments. Then you will get an error as well. Therefore, now in this scenario, let's say here, if I print just the x value, if I print this x value and if I put it like asterisk x, then you can see when I print the, if I put the asterisk, then it means I don't know how many values you're going to pass as the argument. Therefore, I have mentioned as it as an arbitrary arguments. That means I don't know how many arguments which will be passed into the function. Therefore, I have put an asterisk before the parameter name here. I have put the asterisk before the parameter name, the function definition. Therefore, this will receive a tuple. Now you can say this will receive a tuple of arguments. Therefore, like since it is a tuple, you know you can access it by the index as well. Right now, if you have no clue that how many values will be passed, yes, then you could put an asterisk. Then that will receive the values, the arguments as a tuple. Try this one as well. Right, then, okay. Now, sometimes you may have the, let's say now we have X and Y and Z. I'm going to print X. Right, now, if you pass these values, now you know X get 10, Y get 20, and Z get 30 because there is no values that I have just declared three parameters here and I have just passed three arguments. Then according to the order I have passed, then values will get assigned. But if you want, you can assign with the keyword arguments. That means here, let's say Z equals 10, X equals 30, and Y equals 20. If you know the keywords or if you know the parameter names, then you would assign the values based on the keyword. That means based on the name. Yeah. Now for the X, it gets 20. For the Y, it gets 30. Z, it gets 10. Right now, then you can send the arguments based on the name of the parameter. Therefore, now the order which you sent no longer valid. Now the values will get assigned to the based on the variable name or the parameter name. Now these we call as the keyword arguments. Right now, previously we said that if you don't know that how many arguments will we get, then you can use arbitrary arguments, right? But then if you don't know how many keyword arguments user will pass, now here you can see here user is passing the arguments here. User is passing three arguments, keyword arguments. But then we have no clue that how many values user may pass, what keywords user may pass. Therefore, here we could use two asterisks. You could use two asterisks and we could display that. Now you can see you receive a dictionary of the values user has, the arguments user has passed. This one you call as arbitrary keyword arguments. Now this is arbitrary arguments. This is arbitrary keyword arguments. Okay, try this one quickly. But then, okay, we were talking about arbitrary keyword arguments. Okay, then if you want, let's say I want to define a method called define get total. Okay, define get name. Method is get name, and then I need to have a variable. Okay, I'm gonna display print name name. Right, print a name, and I want to display the name that I have got as the value. But by any chance, if user forgot to pass, and now if user forgot to pass the value, then user will not be able to invoke this one. It says get name requesting required one argument, but it is missing here. Right. Therefore, now if you want, you can have the default value as well. If you want, you can have the default value Jendo. Right, now I have set the default value. Therefore, now we won't worry about whether user is passing a value or not. By any chance, if the user is passing an argument, Will Smith now then if you pass an argument, that value will get assigned to the name variable. By any chance, if you do not pass a value, then the default value, because you have already set at the time you declare the parameter, you are setting a default value as well. Therefore, if you do not pass an argument, that value will be set to the variable as well. Now that's how uh, it will work. The functions with the default parameter values. Okay, now let's say now pass a set of values. Let's say pass a list of values to a function and call find min, print min, find max minimum, and here pass a list, number list. Let's say you're gonna get a number list, right? You need to pass a list of values, and then I want you to write the body part of the function just to display the minimum value. Write the statements of the body statements in order to find the minimum. Finish. Okay, send me the answer via chat, please. Then, right now, if you send, okay, right. How to find the minimum from the list? Yes. How to find the minimum from the list? How can we get it? Tell me quickly. Print min num list. Will it work? Yes, then it will give you 0 as a minimum. Right. Okay, then, okay, let's see. Right now, I want to return the minimum value. Like now, I want to return the minimum value. Then I want to print it and I want to return the minimum value as. Then in that case, I can say, okay, let's say I have variable called min equals this, and I want to return it. Then I would say return return min. Right, therefore now here the function is returning a minimum value. Then I could print this because when you call the function, it will return a value to the function. Inconsistent use of tabs. Right now, what is the problem here now? Okay, can someone tell me how can we fix this? Right now, tell me why this happens right now. Here, if I tell return, now this will return the value. Right now, previously it was not returned because it's due to the public, the global and the local variable issue. Right. Then that we will try to fix this. We will discuss about how to create a local variable and how to create a global variable later on. Right now, previously we had a global local variable inside this mean, then the minimum value has to be returned. That's why we got the error. And this is how you return a value. Let's say now get total, get product. If you have a method called get product, and if you are passing two values, let's say if you are passing two values, and if you want to return the total, the product of the two values, you can take into y. And then in order to call this method, you need to pass 10 and 5. Then you can get it as 50. Likewise, you can do it. Now this is how uh, you can return a value. That is how you print a value. That is how you return a value.
So excuse me.
Yes.
In the get product function, I
Yes.
want to assign the product value xy, x into y into z, c variable. Then I
Okay.
return z, but it gives error
It gives this
because the variable z is local to this function. How can
yes.
we solve it?
Right. Okay. What do you think? Do you have any idea of doing it? Yes, there's a
Yes,
way. Because,
we will have to define it outside the function, is it?
yes. Yes. Because it is a local variable. That's why here we are having the error. How can you declare a global variable? How can you declare a global variable then? Right now, this is what you are saying. Right now, z equals x into y, and then when you say return z, now you are getting an error saying local variable, right? Is it? CLS. Yes. Now, this is what you wanted to do, is it?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Is this what you wanted to do? Then what happens previously? Right now, let me undo this. Right, okay. Right, okay. Right, what happens previous? Now, when I do this, now there was an error. Right, let me save this. Right. Now, here we have min. Therefore, now I get an error. Right. Now, what happens here? Now, why? Why I'm getting this?
We
It
are
says
calling the function outside the definition of the function.
you are calling the function outside the definition of the function. So, okay, right now, since okay, if I use return m, now you can see you won't get the error because the function name is here the min, right? And then I'm trying to using the min again here. Now that's why here it gave me the error because I'm using the function name also min and the variable also min. That's why I
So
got
it
that
is
error.
a keyword, no?
Min is a keyword or method,
Method. Yes.
right? Okay. Then okay, now we were talking about previously. Okay, that part. Okay, product. Okay, get product. Yes. Get product. Okay, now we'll talk about the global local variables also right now, just after the functions. Right now we have x and y, and if you want to get the product x multiplied by y, and then you want to return m, you can say product is n and phi. It gives you product is 50. Right.
So what is happening there?
Sorry?
You return m,
Yes.
then that get product function got it. It
Yes,
passed these arguments.
value. This is returning the value 50. Okay, then let me save this as answer. Right, okay. And if I pass 10 and 50 here, 10 and 5. Now here this method, the method called here by passing these two arguments 10 and 5, the value get assigned into the answer variable, and then here I'm going to display the answer variable value. Is this clear?
Yes.
If you want to return, let's say get the answers. If you want to have, let's say, method called get calculate, method named calculate, and calculate, and then you are passing x and y. Then let's say you have add equals x plus y, sub equals x minus y, and product equals multiplication, mul equals x multiplied by y, and the div equals x divided by y. Right. Now I want to return all these values. How can I do it? How can I do it? How can I return? Can I return like add, grab, mul, and div like this? Can I do it? And if I do it, what will happen? Can you try out?
We can do add plus, sub plus.
I want to retrieve the values separately. Now you can say as a tuple, it returns the values, the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and the division. It returns the values. Now you are returning multiple values. See, you are returning multiple values. If you wish, you could say total is total answer 0, then 15. See, difference, product, ratio. Like this, you could get the multiple outputs as well from a function. And also, if you wish, you could assign a value. You can change the function name as well. Like now, for an example, my process. Okay. Keyboard, Getopia, get get numbers. Okay, let's say I want to change this into get numbers. Okay, get numbers equals, you can say, calculate. Now you can call if you want get numbers. See, now we are calling the method get numbers, not the method calculate. Now you have called the same method using a different name. Now that means you can assign a different name to a function and call it through the new name. This is how you do that part. So these are tiny things. Right now, using a for loop, right? Now I want you to calculate the factorial value. Factorial value. You know already, and we have done it already. If it is factorial and if it is 5, that means in order to calculate factorial 5, what you do is you multiply 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. If it is factorial 3, that is calculated by 3 into 2 into 1, right? Likewise, you calculate. Now, using a for loop or using a while loop, I want you to calculate the factorial value. Quickly do it. Calculate the factorial value. You can ask user to enter a number, and based on the user given number, find the factorial value. For the user given number, right? Find the factorial for the user given number. If user wants to find the factorial for 2, then you need to do it. Do it quickly. Yeah. Have you finished? Send me the answer via chat, please. No one has sent me yet. Quickly send me the answer, please. I just need you to write a for loop or while loop to calculate the factorial value. That's it. Quickly do it and send it to me. Is it that difficult? My goodness. We have done this already now. Okay, let's try the method as define factorial and then we connect. And factorial is equals to 1 and then while mm, 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 when not equals to 0, factorial multiply equals n. N minus equals 1. Okay, we'll have plus 5 into 4, 20, 26, 16 to 220. Yes. Factorial 6, 720. Right now, this you call as iterative function. Now, you achieve the factorial value using iteratively. That means using a for loop or using a while loop, you calculate the factorial value. Now, that's what you call as iterative function. Okay, quickly complete. Then we're going to learn how to do the same. Okay, calculate the factorial value using a recursive function.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So why are we using n minus equal 1?
N equals n minus 1.
Yeah,
Every
why?
time every time when I multiply factorial value by n, I'm going to reduce it by 1. Now, for an example like this, n equals n minus 1. Now, for an example, initially x value would be 5, let's say. Now, x value is 5, no? Okay, if x is 5, then n value would be 5 here, right? And then while, okay, now save it as n. Right, now we are passing n value as 5. Right, now here we are getting the input number using what is the user want number. And then we are using that number we call the factorial function. Then we are passing that number to the factorial function. Now we get the value. Here n means 5, let's say, right? Then y. Now n equals 5, right? N is equals to 5. While n is not equal 0. Yes, 5 is not equal 0. What happens? Factorial value. Factorial. Fact multiplied by factorial equals factorial multiplied by a. Now what happens? Now factorial value is currently factorial variable is equals to factorial value currently 1. 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 5 happens. Then factorial become 5. And then what happens? Then what happens? And then the n value decreases by 1. Because then n value decreases by 1, then n equals n minus 1 become 4.
Okay, and it should be decreased by 1. Oh, okay, okay. I got it.
You got it? And the next time, now factorial is 5. Okay, let's write it here. Right now, this is what happens. And then here, n equals n minus 1. Now the factorial is 5. Then 5 value multiplied by 4. Then that become 20. Now n become 3. Now this time when it get, now factorial value is 20. And then 20 should get multiplied by n value is 3. Then that become 20 into 3 is 60. And n become, this become 2. Now n value is 60. 60 into 2. 2 become 120. Now factor n value become n equals n minus 1, 1. Now factorial value is 120. N value is 1, 120. Now n become 0. When n becomes 0, while loop breaks. While loop stops. That's how you get the answer. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Right. Now, let's try the same thing. How we can do the same thing using a factor. That means how can you do it using a recursive function? How can you do it using a recursive function? That means a recursive function means function call itself inside the function. Function call itself again and again until it terminates. Function call itself. The function called function until it reaches its initial condition, we say, or the base case, we say, like this. Therefore, now how can you do it? How to calculate the factorial value? Right now, we need to write the factorial value. Now, factorial recursive. This is iterate. Factorial is a fact ITR, iterative factorial. Let's say factorial recursive. Right. Factorial recursive. Right now, let's see how to do it. Right now, this time, I'm going to do it using recursively. What I'm going to do is if n is equals to 1, the base condition I'm going to write. If n is equals to 1, n is equals to 1, I'm going to say return 1. Else, I'm going to say return n multiplied by the function
Factor
n minus 1. And now silicon required. Right. Now what happens here is now. Okay, when I call 5. Okay, try out this thereafter. I'll try to explain. Okay, beforehand, just try to figure it out. Okay, now what happens here is, I hope you have completed up to this point. Now what happens here is right now, when you call this function factorial function by n, like now it will check whether the n value is 5, no? 5 is equal to 1, no? Then it goes to else. Now it can return 5. It can return 5 and it's gonna call 5 and it's gonna call the function, the factorial 4. Now when you call the factorial 4 again the factorial 4 function, now again it will return 4 and then it will call the factorial 3. Now when it's gonna call the factorial 3, it's gonna return 3, and it's gonna call the factorial 2. And when it calls the factorial 2 function, it's gonna return 2. It's gonna call the factorial 1. When it calls for the factorial 1, now if condition become true, then it's gonna terminate recursively calling the function itself again and again. It's gonna then 1. Then it will, now it has finished the recursive calls, then it will give us the answer right now, bottom to top. Now you can see here, then 1 into 2, 2 into 3, 3 into 4, that means 1 into 2, 2 into 3, 3 into 12, 12 into 1, okay, 1 into 2 is 2, 2 into 3 is 6, 6 into 4 is 24, 24 into 5 is 120. That's how you get the answer.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I really didn't get it.
Right. Okay. Then we can call it as right. Okay. Now, okay, let's do it in this manner. Right. Now, do you get it? Like when you initially call the factorial function, what value would be the n?
5.
Hello.
Hello.
Let me erase this. Right. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now I'm asking some questions. Please do answer me. Then it will be easier for me to explain.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, okay. When you call the factorial function initially, what would be the n value?
5.
Sorry,
5.
I can't hear you. What is the n value?
120.
No, I'm asking n.
5.
When you invoke the factorial function here, now this is how you call the function. Invoke. We call it as invoke. You are invoking the factorial function by passing. Is this a parameter? Is this an argument?
Argument.
Yes, argument. Yes. Now you are invoking the factorial function by passing an argument. What is the argument value?
5.
5. That 5 get assigned to this n, right?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Right, yes. Then here initially you're going to call the factorial function for the, you're going to call the factorial function for by passing 5. When you call the factorial function by passing 5, it's going to go inside. It's going to check the if condition. Is it true? If condition, is it true?
No.
I don't hear. Is the if condition going to be true?
No.
No.
No. If condition not is, it is not true. False. Therefore, it's going to go to the else. What the else part does? It returns the n value. That means it returns n and multiplication. And what it going to call? The same function for factorial which value?
N minus 1. 4.
4.
Oh, right. Okay. Now, this will be waiting now because it's a new call. Now, this going to call the function factorial. Oh, now all the process is stopped now because it's a new call now. Now factorial 4. When you call the factorial 4, it's a new call for the function. Now n become 4. Now what happens is the if condition is true?
No.
Is the if condition true?
No.
No, sir.
No. Then what's going to happen? Yes. It's going to return 4. And then it's going to multiply by 4 into factorial
3.
what?
3.
3.
3. Now when you call factorial 3, it's a new call again from the beginning. Therefore, it's going to hold this for a while. And this is hold for a while. And now a new call, factorial 3. When you call factorial 3, now n becomes 3. Again, if condition is false. Therefore, it's going to return 3. And 3 multiplied by factorial 2. When you call factorial 2, it's a new call again. Then factorial 2 gonna return 2 into factorial 1. Now factorial 1, again this gonna hold this for a while, factorial 1. When n become 1, yes, n is equals to 1, then it can return 1. Therefore, this gonna return 1. Now, what happens now? Okay, now we have the answers now. 2 into 1, 2 into, now here this become 2 into 1, this is 2. 2 into 1 is 2. And now factorial 2 into 1 is 2, right? And then factorial 1 gives you, okay, that's my bad. Right, now factorial 1 is 1, then 2 into 1 is 2. Then factorial 2 returns the value as 2. Then this is 2. Then 3 into 2 is factorial 3 returns the value as 6. 3 into 2 is 6. Then 4 into 6. 4 into 6 is 24. Therefore, this returns the value as 24. Then 24 into 5. Therefore, this returns the value as 120. That's how you get the answer. Is that clear? The function call itself, until it reaches its termination or until it reaches to the base condition. Now, base condition means the stopping point. Now, this is what you call as the base condition or the initial condition. Now, this is what you call as the recursive call. You recursively call the function itself again and again until it reaches to the base condition. Now, that's what you call as a recursive function. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
If not, ask, then I can explain again.
No, sir, it's clear. So, what's basically the difference between these two? Like the one we did before and the recursive one?
Okay. Previous one, it's a while loop, right? Using a while loop, we calculate. The function only called once. But this time, we don't use a for loop or a while loop, or we don't use any iterative. Because we do call the function again and again and again until n become 1. We do call the function again and again. Function call itself until it reaches its termination.
Ah, okay.
Right. Let's see whether we can get the previous code as well. Then it will be easier for you to understand. Now see the difference. Here the function call happens only one time. And then using the while loop, we do calculate the factorial value. Actually, we don't need this. A function call, we don't need. Using right now here, just for the purpose of showing this, I use a function. Now we don't need that means we don't need a function to calculate the factorial using iterative. Okay, use factorial 5b, so you can let me print factorial 5 is n is equals to 5. Now you can see factorial value using a while loop you could calculate, right? And the same thing we could have done it using a function as well. Now here what you do is you call the function again and again until it reaches the base condition. Okay, let me give you another recursive function. Yes, when it comes to recursive functions, solving recursive functions involve a lot of theories, and then this is one of the method you call as divide and conquer method. You divide the problem into similar subproblems and then you calculate it. Then you solve it. Now that's what you call as divide and conquer. Right. Then how can okay. Fibonacci series. Yes. So let me search about Fibonacci. Fibonacci. Fibonacci series. Okay, as a logical relation. Fibonacci equals. Right. It's not here. Okay, let me give me 1 minute and I will. Right. Right. Okay. Now here, okay, this is a Fibonacci series. Okay. Now, Fibonacci series comes from by the first two Fibonacci values are 0 and 1. And the two initial terms of Fibonacci series is 0 and 1. You calculate the next Fibonacci value by combining the previous two Fibonacci values. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. 3 plus 5 is 8. 5 plus 8 is 30. Likewise, this is how the Fibonacci series continues. Right now, by knowing that Fibonacci series start from 0 and 1, then you could calculate the any given number. Let's say Fibonacci 5. If someone asks what is the Fibonacci 5, then you could calculate using this relationship. Because you know there are two initial conditions. Because Fibonacci 5 means if you want to find Fibonacci 5, that you can calculate it by if it is 5 minus 2 is 3 and 5 minus 1 is 4. Like now here given is for Fibonacci 4. Now see Fibonacci 4 is given. If you want to calculate Fibonacci 4 and Fibonacci 4 calculated by Fibonacci 4 minus 2, which is 4 minus 2 is 2 and Fibonacci 4 minus 1 which is 3. Now by adding Fibonacci 3 and Fibonacci 2, you can get the Fibonacci 4. And Fibonacci 3 value you can calculate by adding 3 minus 2 is Fibonacci 1 and 3 minus 1 is Fibonacci 2. By adding Fibonacci 1 and Fibonacci 2, you could calculate Fibonacci 3 value. And in order to add Fibonacci 2 value, you can calculate Fibonacci 2 minus 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. Fibonacci 2 minus 2 is 0. And Fibonacci 2 minus 1 is 1. By adding Fibonacci 1 and Fibonacci 0, you can calculate Fibonacci 2. And Fibonacci 1 is already given. Fibonacci 1 is 1. And Fibonacci 0 is 0. Fibonacci 0 is 0. Fibonacci 1 is 1. Therefore, you can build the answer. Right. Now, try to do it using a for loop. Now, this is the relationship. Right. Now, try to do it using a for loop to calculate. That means iterative function means using a for loop or while loop, I want you to calculate the Fibonacci values. The Fibonacci values using a loop. Okay, quickly do it. Quickly calculate using a loop. Okay, I will do it for you. The writing the Fibonacci function using a for loop. Then it would be easier, and then you can try out the recursive function by yourself. Right. Okay, how can you do this? Let's say we're gonna ask user to enter the value for the okay, for an example, let's say 7, Fibonacci 7, I'm gonna now using a for loop, let's try out. Then how can you do this? You see while loop or using a for loop, you could do it. Okay, let's say now we have done. It's easier using while loop or for loop, either you could do, no? Right. Okay, then let's say we'll have number 1, n1 equals 0, then n2 is equals 1. Right, if the Fibonacci number is in right now, you can have while. How can you do it? You can using a count also, you could do it. Right, let's say count is I. I is equals to 0, while I less than n, while I less than n, I want to get the total. Okay, while I is less than n, we have, let's say, next number is equals to n1 plus n2. And now I want to update the values. Therefore, now n1 should be n2 and n2 value should be the next number. Right. And the I value should be increased by 1. I is equals to I plus 1. Right. Fibonacci 7 means, right? Now, what would be the answer now? Fibonacci 7. Let's say, is it 5? Fibonacci 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3. No, right, like that. So, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. John should be dead. Okay, let's write the recursive function and see. Okay, quickly try out this and see. Right, and not. Right. N1 is the Fibonacci value, you get this. Right. This is how you do it using a while loop. Even if you want to print the Fibonacci series as well, you get 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you go, if you want to like that, you can have the same value. And then you will be able to get the answers like 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like as you can get it. Now the Fibonacci series. Now this is how you get the values as well. Right, 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and yes. Now if you want to do it using recursive function, it is very easy. How can you do it using the recursive function? It's just a matter of calling this what? How can you do it using a recursive function? Here you have given the mathematical definition here. Then if you have defined Fibonacci and define Fibonacci and if n equals 0, if n equals 0 or n equals 1, return n. Else return Fibonacci n minus 2 value plus Fibonacci n minus 1 value. You can see you can easily get the answer. Fibonacci 1 is 30. See? Okay, by doing that, right. Okay, manually calculate these values. And then try to write the recursive functions for this function. Yes. Try to write a recursive function for this. Manually calculate what is F3, F4, F5, and F6 and send me the answer via chat and then recursively calculate using a recursive function. What are the answers for these? 3, 4, 5, 6. Quickly send me the answers. Right, okay, manually, what is the answer when you pass F3? When you pass N as 3, what is the answer? Yes, tell me quickly. 3. When N equals 3, here it becomes 3, then what's going to happen? Initially, when you call F3, N is greater than, less than or equals 1, no. Then N is even, no. If N is odd, yes, N is odd, then what's going to happen? It's going to increase N by 1 and divide by 2. Then F4, 4 divided by 2 is 2. F2 plus F n minus 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. F1. It's going to call F1 and F2. F1 going to return 1 and F2. Again, F2 going to call F2 is an even number. Then 2 plus F2 divided by 2 is F1. 2 plus F1. Then F1 going to return 1. Then 2 plus 1 is 3. This F2 is 3. F1 is 1. Then 3 plus 1. F3 going to return as 4. F3 going to return 4 as the answer. Is that clear? What is F4 value? What is F4 value? Did you do it? Chatuni, did you do it? Sitil, have you done it? Taruka? Right, if you want to calculate, if you want to run this program, it's easier. Right now, define, let's say, function. Define function, what to do? If n is less than or equals to 1, if n is less than or equals to 1, return n, right? Else we have, okay, now tell me right now, here we need to have two if conditions, right? Two else right now, else if. Therefore now in Python, how can you write the if else if? Then you can have else. Else if, what is the condition now? What is the condition now? If it is an even, if it is n modulus 2, if it is equal to 0. What to do? We need to return n. We need to return n and we need to call the function n divided by 2. Then we can have else. Obviously, if it is an even, otherwise not, right? Else. Return function n plus 1 divided by 2. N plus 1 divided by 2. N plus 1 divided by 2 and n minus 1. We got the answer as 4. That's correct. If it is 4, we get the answer as 4 as well. Okay, not here. Sorry, it's my bad. Here we have changed. 7. Are we getting 7? You can verify it by checking with this. If you call F4, it's even number, then 4 plus F4 divided by 2 is F2. Therefore, F2 means even number, then 2 plus F1. F1 means 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. Then you should get the answer as 7. That's how you get the answer as 7 when you pay F4. Hope you understood this. If not, you should have asked questions. Then no one asked questions. Then I assume that you understood.
Sir, understood.
Right, great. Oh. Okay, for this one, then I don't want to know. The code is already given. Okay, when you pass 5 and 3, what is the answer? Manually do it and send it to me via chat, please. And then we can conclude the functions. Yes.
So functions pass by value and pass by reference. 2 types.
Okay, we'll discuss that part as well. Yes, 4 parts.
Yes, sir.
Okay, quickly send me the answer for this one. Okay, what is the answer? I'll give you 2 minutes max. Yes, what is the answer now here? Right now, here what happens here now? If you pass 5 and 3, now, okay, x become 5 and now y become 3 first. Right now, x become 5, x equals 5 and y equals 3 at the initial, right? Now what happens now? Then if y equals 0, if y equals 0, it returns 1. Y equals 0, returns 1. No. Y equals 0, no. Y equals 1, no. Therefore, it's gonna recursively call the function. Then again, it's gonna call function what? X minus 1. X minus 1 means 5 minus 1. 4. Y means 3. 4, 3 plus function x minus 1. 5 minus 1 is 4. And y minus 1. 3 minus 1 is 4, 2. When you call 4, 3, y equals 0, no, y is not equals to x. Therefore, this again gonna call function x minus 1 is 4 minus 1 is 3, y also 3, plus x minus 1 means 3, y minus 1 is 2. When you call 3, 3, here this gonna call, since x, y is equals to x, that will return 1. Now this would return 1. And when you call 3, 2, again not equals 0, not equals to x. Therefore, again, it's gonna call return function x minus 1 is 2, y is 2, plus x minus 1 is 3 minus 1 is 2, y minus 1 is 2 minus 1 is 1. And 2, therefore, y is equals to x. Therefore, this also will return 1. Then F21 again gonna call. That's not, if condition is not true. Therefore, again, it's gonna go to this one. Then F2 minus 1. Now, this is gonna call again. F2 minus 1 is 1. F1, 1, 1 plus F2 minus 1 is F1 and y minus 1 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. And now 1, 1 also the same. Therefore, this is also going to return 1. And if 1, 0, since y is equal 0, again this also going to return 1. Now the values of these scores you can calculate. This is 1 plus 1 is 2. Now this can return 2. Here this is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. Therefore this can return 3. And 3, 3 is 1. Therefore 3 gonna return 1 plus 3 as 4. The answer 1 plus 1 is 2. And 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. When you call F4 2, what happens? 4 2 is not the same. Therefore, it's going to call F4 minus 1, which is 3, and y equals 2 plus function 4 minus 1 is 3, y minus 1 is 2 minus 1 is 1. Then you call F3 2, again it's going to call function x minus 1. If x minus 1 is 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay, 3 2 we have already done it now, therefore we don't need to calculate, right? 3 2 we have already done it. 3 2 gives us 3. Therefore this can gives us 3. And 3 1 we have not found it, therefore we have to calculate. When you call 3 1, then again you can call a function 3 minus 1 is 2, 2 1, 2 1 plus function x minus 1 is 3 minus 1 is 2, y minus 1 is 0, 2 0. Then 2 0 will return y equals 0, therefore this would return 1. And 2 1 we have already found that it can return 2. Therefore this can return 2. 2 plus 1 is 3, therefore this is 3. And this is 3, therefore 3 plus 3 this is going to be 6. 4 plus 6 altogether. This is going to be returned 10 as the answer. Right, that's what you need to figure out. Right. Is this clear? You got the answer exactly? If not, quickly go when you have free time, go through that. Otherwise, just
Sir, excuse me, sir.
yes.
Sir, how can I know this function is recursive?
Oh, what is this?
Now, you go on recursive now.
Function name is You
Yeah,
call the function again and again until you reach the initial condition. Or this is a recursive call. You call the function again and again inside the function.
yes.
Got it?
Yeah, yes, sir. Right.
There should be a function call. Right. Now, Python value, pass by value or pass by reference. Right. Oh, there's something else that we don't know. Right. How to figure it out? Right. Good question.
Sir, can we do some function calculations like that? Recursive
Uh,
functions.
Previous ones.
Yeah, it is very interesting, sir.
Yes, right now, yeah, you can just search for recursive functions and then you can find some. I will send more if I find any. Right. Okay. Now, your question, we'll get back to your question. What was your question? What is whether
Pass
the
by
class
value,
is
pass by reference.
different? Right. Okay. What do you mean by pass by value?
OP?
Pass by value means what? What do you think? Right now, how can we do this? Right now, pass by values and pass by reference. Right, let's see whether we can define function and define function A. Define function A, print and function B and n equals 10 plus 5. Should be and print and n equals n plus 2 print then here the form n equals 10. I'm gonna print and then I'm gonna call function A. Right now I'm gonna say this one for the first time, and then I'm gonna call. This is the second, and this is the third. A1, A2, start, and right. Now where I am is this ranges. Right now, now you can see what. Now here I have passed n value, which is 10. Then I have passed to the function n. Right, now this is the n value. Now I have passed to the function a n, and then inside this it prints n equals 10. A1 is 10. Fine. Good. And then I'm calling the function b by passing n. And then for the b also I'm passing n, and then b also prints 10. And again I'm adding the value. Okay, now here also let me print b1 and then b2 value. Right, now a1 I'm going to assign the value n variable as 10. Then I'm going to start, it prints 10. Passing it to a1, and then here by this time it is n. And I'm going to increase the n by 5. Before that I'm going to call the function b by passing n value. And here it comes n as 10. Therefore, that's why b1 become 10. And I'm going to increase the n value by 3, and then I'm going to print again at the b variable 13. And after this function, let's say now here also, after the function call, I'm going to print now. I'm going to start, it's 10, and a1 it's 10. Then it's going to call the function b. At the beginning it's 10. Now here at this point n become 13. That's why b2 become 13. And then again I'm printing a2. That means what? This is printing 10 again. And again I'm printing a3. Now it become 15. Now again I'm printing n. Now it becomes again 10. Now based on this, what can you observe? Is the value is it changing or not? Is the value is changing or not? When I pass to the variable.
Change.
No. N value, originally n value has not changed.
No. N value not change.
N value has not changed. That means what? That means pass by value. Is it the pass by value or pass by reference?
That is
Right now, we are passing the original value n to this function. Inside the function, we change the n value. Here, we change the n value and we invoke the function. We pass it to another function. There also we change the value. Then we are printing again the n value. Then n value is not changing. Now that means what? Copy of the value is made and passed to the function. That is what you call as pass by value. Modifying the copy within the function does not affect to the original value. Therefore, we have passing a value. Therefore, this is not the pass by value actually. Now, in Python, we call it as pass by assignment. Pass by assignment, not the pass by value. Now, if someone says, like in some programming languages, we have pass by value, pass by reference. But here, we are not, in Python, it does not use pass by value, neither pass by reference. It is pass by assignment. If it is pass by value, if the pass by value means what? When you call a function by passing a value, that means a copy of the value is made and passed to the function, then modifying the copy within the function does not affect to the original value. That is what you call as a pass by value. Pass by value means here you have original value, then you pass a copy of the original to the function, and inside the function whatever you do, it will not impact on the original value because a copy value has been passed to the function. Therefore, whatever the change you do to the copy does not impact on the original value. That is what you call as the pass by value in general. When it comes to pass by reference means you a reference or a pointer of the original object you pass. You pass a reference to the original object to a function. Therefore, whatever the change you do to the reference, that means whatever the reference means, you are referring to the original object, right? Therefore, whatever you do, a change, therefore, then it will impact on the value you are concerning about, because you are passing a reference to an object, and then whatever the changes you do inside the function for that particular reference, then will impact on the object. Therefore, original value will be changed. Therefore, there will be an impact of the original value. Therefore, pass by reference means you are passing a reference to the original value for a function. And if you do any changes inside the function, then that will reflect on the original value as well, because you are using pass by reference, right? Then here if it is passed by reference, obviously n value should be changed by this point. At the end, n value should be 15 now, because then if it is passed by reference, now you can see it is not. Therefore, now what happens? Therefore, remember, Python uses pass by assignment. Therefore, Python's behavior is not the pass by value, not the pass by reference. Instead of pass by value or pass by reference, it uses pass by assignment method. Pass by assignment method. Or you can say call by the object. Call by the object. Right now, you know that the variable type of the Python is decided at the time based on the value you assign to a variable. Now, at the beginning, for an example, right now, if we have x equals 5 and x equals 5.5, 2.5, or x equals hello, right, you can see the rapidly changing. The value of the variable rapidly change. The type of the variable, value of the variable rapidly changing depends on the assignment. Therefore, this you call as variable assignment. Therefore, in Python, the type of the variable, the value of the variable decided depends on the assignment. And if you know the variable assignment in Python, that means variable assignment in Python is like, right now, variable act as a reference to the assigned value. Therefore, it allows us to dynamically change the type of the variable based on the value you assign. Rapidly, you can change the type of the variable as well, because when you assign the different values, the type of the variables also dynamically changing. Therefore, that is the variable assignment. And there's another factor we call as parameter assignment, parameter argument relationship, parameters and the argument relationship. Now, this is what we discussed, parameter and the argument relationship. Right now, just a minute. Hello. When it comes to the parameter and arguments, right now we, if you can remember, we in while ago we discussed about how we can have the how we can pass the values to the argument. That means how can we pass arguments to the parameters? How can we have the multiple values per parameter or keyword arguments? Right. Likewise, arbitrary arguments. Likewise, we discussed. Therefore, now the parameters, like inside a function, like now here, this is a parameter we have declared. Now this is a local variable. Right now, this is a local variable. Like this is a local variable. Now we have declared a function, a variable parameter called n. Now that is a local variable. Therefore, when you are assigning a value, that means when you are passing a value to the function. Now when you are passing a value to the function, that means we are providing a value to the parameter. Therefore, we are providing a value to the parameter. Therefore, we are providing a value to the parameter, right? Therefore, when you call the function with an argument, that means Python will assign that argument value to the parameter. Therefore, Python will assign the argument value to the parameter. Therefore, that's what you call as how the Python arguments and parameters are work or related. The local variable, like now, for an example, now here, when you say now, okay, n equals now, okay, now here n equals previously, now at the beginning n, now n become 10, and then here it gives you 10, and then you call the function b by passing an argument n, which is 10. Now here it gives you, now n is 10, right? And then b value printed as n. And now suddenly when you change n equals n plus 3, now you change this n value increased by 3. Then what happens? N equals 30. Now let's say you're going to change it to 2. Now you suddenly change the value of the variable n into 2. Now the parameter, now the local variable n value suddenly disassociated with 10, and then it get assigned 2. Now here when you print, now b2 would print 2. Now you can see, now b2 would print 2. And then here, let's say now again I'm going to assign n equals 1 right now. And previously here you can see, now here now I have set the n1 value as n1, n is equals 1. And then when you are printing a3, right now when you are printing a3, now what should be the value it should print? 1. when you're printing the A3, it should print 1 because at the beginning, n associated with 10 because that's the parameter variable n. You have passed the argument as 10, then n become 10. Then it prints n value as 10. Then n passed to the function b as well. And then print, again you print n value, still it is, now you can say n value is still 10. And suddenly you change the value 10, change to 1. Therefore, for the value 10, n relationship disassociate and then it will assign to 1. Now, when you print A3 n value is equals 1. And that's it. And then it is just the variable assigned the value. Therefore, it will reassign and disassociate and it get reassigned. That's what happens. Now, it will, when you change the value, now it can just remove the previous value and it get reassigned the value. Now, this behavior, that means you can see the variable, how the variable, the type or the value get changed. Likewise, you can see. Now, therefore, this is not the, you can't say this is not the pass by value or not the pass by reference. Therefore, the Python uses pass by assignment method. Therefore, Python uses pass by assignment. Right now, you can further refer this by when you have the mutable objects and immutable objects. And if you try this one, you can further learn this. Therefore, right now, once you finish all the content, we'll see what do we mean, how we can work this with pass by assignment, pass by value, or pass by reference. Therefore, remember, Python uses pass by assignment. Therefore, that is a combination of pass by value and pass by reference behaviors. Therefore, when you passing arguments to functions, then Python makes a connection between the function parameter and the argument provided during the function invoke, and this binds or this creates by the assignment. Therefore, we call it as the pass by assignment. Therefore, when it comes to immutable objects, like now numbers or the string values, now the behavior simply looks like the pass by value because the copy of object value is assigned to the function parameter. And therefore, that ensure the modifications within the function do not affect the original value. But if you consider the mutable objects, that means if you try with a list or if you try with a dictionary, the behavior has a different behavior. That means when you reassign the function parameter within the function, then it will create a new local connection to the reassigned value, and it will break or it will disassociate with the original variable. And therefore, you can say if you modify the object without reassigning, that means if you modify that, for an example, if you have a list and if you in the list second index value, if you change it to something else, that means without reassigning, if you modify the list, then that means similar to pass by reference. Now then a parameter receives a reference to the original object. Therefore, modifications inside the function will impact the original value as well. That's why we say in Python, it uses both combination of pass by value and the pass by reference. Therefore, we can call it as a pass by assignment. Therefore, not the pass by value, not the pass by reference. Python uses pass by assignment. Right. Then, now I thought of doing classes. Today we will not. Right. Okay. Now get ready. Now, then exam will get shifted by 1 day, 1 week. When I said when we'll be having the exam,